So here's what I'm up to today. We have a new song called All I Have Is Christ at church, and I just wanted to go through just kind of the process of how I learn a song, or how I decide what parts to play during the song. So All I Have Is Christ, BPM is 76, and it's in 3/4, so I don't have to make a lot of changes to my pedal board. I do have my beats per minute set at 76 for all of my delays, and then I have my clean ambient sound, and so this sounds like this. So most of the time my amps run, yeah, it's 2 amps, I guess. It's in my digital modeler. I have my Helix. So my amps are on the edge of breakup, so that if you play kind of softly, it sounds very, very clean. But if you like kind of start to dig in and play a little harder, then all of a sudden you're starting to hear some of the grit. That way, when you add some extra distortion or extra overdrive, you do have a much grittier sound. You just kind of hear that extra hair on the humbucker's teeth, I guess, if you'd call it that. And so I've already listened to this song a lot of times. So I just play it. I just play it off my phone or wherever when I'm getting ready in the morning. And so I've heard it a ton. I've actually also seen it played at church now once, but there were some parts that I was hearing in the recording that I think, yeah, I want to add those to what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna run the track. Oops, got too many devices going. I'm gonna run the track because it's that beginning.
Hallelujah, all I have is Christ. Hallelujah, Jesus is my life.
So at the very beginning, they're singing that first chorus, and I think I'm gonna be out for all of that. Now, I can hear like the pad happening in the background, and typically the keys will take care of that. So I don't need to worry about that, but if Brooke wants me to, I can play swells, right? I can do the whole, I can do that with my volume pedal if she wants me to. But right after that chorus, there's that intro piece, and I can't tell if it's a bass guitar. I go back and forth. I think it's a bass guitar, but if the bass guitar player isn't gonna play it, I think I'm going to. Like, it sounded something like... It sounded kind of like that, or maybe even an octave lower. Where would that be? Nope, I'm on the wrong string. There we go. That's the right note. I don't know, it's somewhere in there, but that's kind of what I think I would probably play if the bass guitar player doesn't play it. Otherwise, I either wouldn't play anything or I might play... So some of the notes that I'm playing there, I don't even know what it is. It's a root note, so like on the G, I'm on that low E, and then for a major chord, it's the G string, and it's just 1 fret higher than what's on here. So I'm not even sure what note that is. That's a G, A, B. It's a B. So it's the 1 and the 3rd of the chord, if you're into music theory. But for a minor, then you've got to flatten that 3rd. Yeah, so that'd be the minor 3rd. So here I'm on that A, and then on that G string, that's the minor note. Yeah. So I wish I could get lower to get to that C, but so here I'm at the F because of the root note, and then to get to C, I'm going up quite a bit. So G, A minor, F, C. So yeah, it kind of has that like kind of bouncing sound, and so I have a dotted 8th delay on. I'm wondering if I need to add. So dotted 8ths and quarter note delays bounce really well together. So that sounds okay too. I guess it depends on what I'm gonna play. If I'm just playing those notes, then sure, I'll have that extra delay. But if I'm gonna play the kind of line that goes, then I'm not sure I like that much. Let's see. So that's kind of a quieter dotted 8th delay. I think I'll probably stick with that. Okay. Next part is verse 1.
I once was lost in darkest night, yet thought I knew the way, the sin that promised joy and light had led me to the grave. I had no hope that you would own, a rebel to your will, and if you had not loved me first, I would refuse you still.
Okay, so there's a lot happening in there. I still hear that kind of like bass line walking around, even though it's different notes, because there are some different chords and things. But I also hear a higher guitar plucking a couple notes, not a lot. And then by the end, I hear some kind of strums. So I'm thinking to simplify, because there are usually at least 2 electric guitars playing in every song. I think I feel good about either picking through some of those open chords or strumming, like so just 1 strum per set of 4 beats, or 3, I guess, 3 beats since it's in 3/4. So I'm gonna back it up and just kind of see how that sounds.
I once was lost in darkest night, yet thought I knew the way, the sin that promised joy and light had led me to the grave. I had no hope that you would own, a rebel to your will, and if you had not loved me first, I would refuse you.
Okay, so I think that would fit pretty well. the basics of the song. And a lot of the time I'm not playing the full chord with like all 6 strings, even though G is all 6, or the barred F is all 6. A lot of times I do still hang out on the highest 3 strings. I once was lost in darkest night, yet thought I knew the way. That feels good to me. Yeah, and then at the very end of verse 1, instead of hitting the G on the word still, yeah, I think right on still, it starts that same intro line on the 9th fret of the D. Let's go back.
Not love me first.
I would refuse you.
But as I ran, my held was indifferent to the cross. You looked upon my helpless state and led me to the cross. And I beheld God's love displayed. You suffered in my place. You bore the wrath reserved for me. Now all I know is grace.
Okay, so I hear some of those similar things with like picking through. So I hear a lot of that. For some reason, it sounds maybe a little higher to me. And honestly, I don't play open chords a lot, so it's not super comfortable for me. So I might actually move to where I like to play, where I play most often, and that's up here with the D shapes, moved up the neck into that G range. And a lot of the times I just play 2 of the notes, and so my hand is going to look different. Or you can flatten this index finger to hit all 3 of those. So yeah, a lot of times I cheat and I just play 2 notes and I deaden that high E string. So okay, I think I like that quite a bit, and it starts to build a little. So at some point I might either switch to my middle or my bridge pickup. I might even add some overdrive, because right now I was still on that very ambient tone with delay and reverb and stuff. So I'm gonna back up the track and I'm gonna play through that and kind of do that build. And I'm pretty sure right after that, it like the chorus cuts out and is like a lot quieter. Yep. So I'm doing that interlude or that intro notes.
But as I ran, my held was indifferent to the cross. You looked upon my helpless state and led me to the cross. And I beheld God's love displayed. You suffered in my place. You bore the wrath reserved for me.
So definitely, knowing the song or having listened to it ahead of time, like you can kind of, where it's going, right? And I'm sure Brooke might put her own spin on it, and so she might ask us to do something differently in there. But I'll add some notes in for myself, and then in practice I'll change them, right, if needed. So yeah, kind of getting into like the vibe of the song, the strumming is part of it. So it's like, so what am I doing there? Sometimes I don't even know. So 2 downstrokes and an upstroke, and then like a little bit of a pause. There's probably a beat or a timing on that. I play drums and stuff, and sometimes I just don't count. I just feel it, right, a lot of the time. So that's how I feel this song. So when you get together with the group, right, you might have to change what you're doing, especially if maybe the drums are doing a little different beat. But that's how I feel it, at least here. So verse 3 is kind of like it cut out at the end of that chorus. It was kind of quiet, and then it kind of builds back in, and then there's a part where there are no chords, and so verse 3 is kind of unique. So I'll just run the track.
Was alone, and if so all might see the strength to follow your ways could never come from me. Oh, Father, use my ransom life in any way. Oh, Father, use my ransom life in any way you choose, and let my soul forever be my only trust is Hallelujah.
Okay, so yeah, there's kind of a lot going on in there. So for those first 4 lines of the verse, like it's not that big. I mean, you can leave your overdrive on, and you can just kind of be either picking or playing. I'll probably, like after that cutout, I'll probably play a little bit and then kind of build. And then there's something I am gonna do during that big driving part. Oh, Father, use my ransom life, when there are no chords. The last thing we play is a C, and then I'm sure the notes kind of still change, but I have an idea of something I think will work. So let's back that up a little.
Jesus is mine. Lord, I will be yours alone, and make so all might see the strength to follow your ways could never come from me. Oh, Father, use my ransom life in any way. Oh, Father, use my ransom life in any way you choose, and let my soul
Okay, all right. So I do like how I end up playing that. So yeah, it kind of cut out at the end of chorus, builds back into verse 3 a little bit, and so I was just kind of picking and playing kind of in that same spot. Very similar to verse 2, I felt like. But then in the middle, oh, Father, use, we kind of stop playing my ransom life in any way you choose. But when the drums start to come back in, I'm staying on that C, and I'm actually playing this note, which is on the G string. It's actually the C, so it is the root note of that C. And so if I can do it, if I can restrain myself enough, because I'm getting kind of fired up in this song, I'm gonna play the 8th note with the drums. hear my delays, you know, behind it. Of course, I actually have a quarter note delay on that. So I've kicked up the gain a little bit, and then I'm starting to play with my hand on the bridge, right? So it's very palm muted. Playing with that drum drive, and then I start to like play faster. So then I'm gonna do eighth notes, and then at some point I might have done like, because I like how it sounds with the with my delay. So sometimes I do kind of different patterns with the timing or the picking, and let my song forever be. So it starts to get really big, you know, so you can kick up the overdrive a little bit. Then it's gonna go back into the chorus. There are gonna be two big choruses, and then after that, there's another chorus, but it's much quieter. There might even be like a pause or a break in it. But so I have tricks. I have tricks up my sleeve when songs get bigger, and like I get kind of intense. I mean, that's what music does to us, right? And so like, yeah, the song started out here, started out low, started out quiet. You know, in the middle of the song, I'm in the middle of the neck, and then in those last two choruses, I think I want to come all the way up here into this part of my guitar, because you can kind of trick the ears into thinking that you're playing like some exciting solo when really you're just playing chords. So an F is all the way up here. So like that's the A shape cranked all the way up. This is an F. And then a C is right here. That's a C shape. It's the D shape chord right here. Sometimes you might see me play a bigger chord, so it's still a C, still in that same place, but then with a root note a little higher up. And you can use that index finger on the A string, or you can use it on the D string. It's gonna be the same chord no matter how you do it. So that's a C. That's a C. So it just kind of gives it a little different sound, a little different flavor. And then if you flatten this pinky onto the 12th fret with your ring finger, that's a G. And then the A minor, right? So I'm using my minor shape here. And you might see it, how do I do that? Oh, right. You might see that like that too. So let's kind of go back into verse 3 a little bit and then play to the end.
Never come from my ransom life in any way. Oh Father, use my ransom life in any way. Choose and let my
Yeah, so I think I really like kind of how all those parts come together, how they get big, how they kind of quiet back down. So that's trying to figure out the song and like put together the parts and kind of decide what to play. That's kind of how I approach most songs now. That's what I'm up to. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and just play through the whole song and just see how it fits together. It's not gonna be perfect, but that way you can just kind of see how it all goes together.